concurred in. File item 23, Senator Pavley. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 324 by Senator Pavley and Act relating to taxation.
Senator Pavley.
Yes, members, SB 324 is back for concurrence and assembly amendments. It's a complementary bill to Assemblymember Irwin's AB 449. Together, these bills will establish the ABLE program. That's the acronym for Achieve a Better Life Experience. It's modeled after the 529 college savings accounts for families with disabled children. Ask for your aye vote. It has broad bipartisan support.
Thank you, Senator Pavley. Any debate or discussion on this item? Any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39, no 0. Assembly amendments are concurred in. File item 24, Senator Leyva. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 334 by Senator Leyva and Act relating to pupil health.
Senator Leyva.
Thank you, Madam President. Good morning, members. SB 334 is back from concurrence with Assembly amendments, which removed the lead testing and contamination mitigation provisions. As amended, the bill prohibits schools from providing drinking water that does not meet the U.S. EPA drinking water standards for lead or other contaminants. Further, this bill requires school districts to take measures each day to provide free, clean, and safe drinking water on campus. This bill has received no votes and bipartisan support. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Leyva. Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 38, no 0. Assembly amendments are concurred in. File item 25, Senator Wieckowski. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 413 by Senator Wieckowski and Act relating to public transit.
Senator Wieckowski.
Madam President, naturally the amendments in the Assembly narrowed this bill. Still, it addresses...
Excuse me, Senator Wieckowski.
Still...
There's too much noise in the back of the hall. Please keep it down so we can hear the discussion. Thank you, Senator Wieckowski. Go ahead.
It still allows for public transit agencies to cite minors for minor infractions, and rather than sending them off to juvenile hall. It's a support measure. I urge an aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Wieckowski. Any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39, no 0. Assembly amendments are concurred in. Senator Monning. All right, Senator Monning's got file item 26. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 475 by Senator Monning and Act relating to continuing care contracts.
Senator Monning.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, Assembly amendments to Senate Bill 475 extend when the 10 or 20% repayment for a prospective continuing care retirement community lump sum contract is due to 120 days and extends the timelines for which the interest rates apply starting at 180 days. Further amendments include lower and fixed interest rates, only applying interest accrual to prospective CCRC contracts, complaint process for CCRC residents and their estates. CCRC provider may repay before resale. And number 5 provides a 1-year grace period for new CCRC developments to offer contracts under current law. Members, we've removed all opposition from CCRC organizations that operate in California. And with these amendments, and I respectfully request your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Monning. Debate or discussion? Is there any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Galgiani. Glazer. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Weso. Aye. Huff. Jackson. Aye. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Morrell. Aye. Wynn. Aye. Nielsen. Aye. Pan. I. Pavley. Roth. I. Runner. I. Stone. I. Vidak. Wachowski. I. Wolk.
All right, please,
Wolk, aye.
please call the absent members.
Allen. Berryhill. I. De Leon. Galgiani. I. Glazer. I. Huff. Morlock. Pavley. I. Vidak. Aye. Allen, aye.
Folks, it's the last time we're going to allow that. If you aren't available for 2 calls of the roll, your vote will not be counted unless you're going to change your vote. That is the only time we're going to allow that. We've got to try to keep moving on in a reasonable fashion. So we have now, the vote is ayes 37, no 0. Assembly amendments are concurred in. Moving along to file item 27, Senator Bell. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 484 by Senator Bell and Act relating to juveniles.
Senator Bell.
Madam President, members, we're back on concurrence for SB 484. This is the second of 2 bills that I'm carrying on addressing the overuse of psychotropic drugs for foster youth. This bill utilizes oversight measures in group homes and was amended in the Assembly to utilize the Department of Health Care Services existing data collection model to monitor and analyze group home psychotropic drug use. And further, we specified in the bill that the Department of Social Services will consult to be determined if the plan of corrections for a group home is necessary and specifies the process for requesting a plan for corrections. I will point out that 56% of the group homes had foster youth that had psychotropic drug use, and so we have to monitor that closely. Lastly, we had some non-substantive technical chaptering out changes, and I urge a aye vote on this measure.
Thank you, Senator Bell. Any debate or discussion? Any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39, no 0. Assembly amendments are concurred in. File item 28, Senator Hill. File item 28. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 494 by Senator Hill and Act relating to emergency services.
Senator Hill.
Thank you, Madam President. Back on concurrence is SB 494, which establishes the California Earthquake Safety Special Fund to help implement the earthquake early warning system. The Assembly amendments extend the early warning system funding deadline by 6 months. Has had no opposition, received unanimous support. I respectfully ask for your aye vote on a concurrence.
Thank you, Senator Hill. Any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39, no 0. Assembly amendments are concurred in. File item 29, Senator Hancock. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 519 by Senator Hancock and Act relating to parole.
Thank you,
Senator
Madam
Hancock.
President. Members, SB 519 is a technical cleanup bill for SB 261, which was approved this year in the Senate and Assembly on bipartisan votes. The administration has concerns with the implementation deadlines in the bill, and SB 519 addresses those concerns by adding an additional 6 months to the bill's deadlines. I respectfully ask for your aye vote on concurrence in the Assembly amendments.
Thank you, Senator Hancock. Colleagues, if we could keep the noise down, particularly in the back of the hall. Thank you. Debate or discussion? Senator Nielsen?
Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, this legislation and predecessor to the 261 in effect allows violent, dangerous offenders as old as 18 to get out of jail early, of prison early. They've been sentenced to indeterminate terms. That means the board has got to make a determination as to their suitability. But it also, under the youthful offender, there is no life top. They are all going to get out. The only question is, do they get out sooner? This bill, quite simply, lets dangerous individuals who have spent less time incarcerated and less time rehabilitating out into our communities sooner. just because they were younger when they did their dastardly deeds. I urge a no vote.
Thank you, Senator Nielsen. Any further debate or discussion? Any further debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Senator Hancock, you may close.
While I appreciate the comments of the senator, SB 261 has already reached the governor's desk after having been approved by this House and by the Assembly in a bipartisan manner. All the bill before us today does is change the implementation dates for the bill in response to concerns raised by the administration. I would ask for your aye votes in concurring with Assembly amendments.
All debate having ceased, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Anderson. Aye. Bates. No. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. DeLeon. Fuller. No. Gaines. No. Galgiani. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Wesso. Aye. Huff. No. Jackson.
Aye.
Aye. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. No. Morrell. No. Wynn. No. Nielsen. No. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. No. Stone. No. Vidak. No. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Please call the absent members.
Allen. Aye. Berryhill. No. DeLeon. Galgiani. No.
Assembly, 26 aye, 13 no. Assembly amendments are concurred in. Colleagues, we are going to go till 12:30, at which point in time we will hear announcements about various committees that will be meeting during that luncheon recess, such as it is, and then we'll be back on the floor. So we're going to continue now until 12:30, at which point we'll take the lunch recess with announcements, so it would be helpful if all of you would stay here so that you can know where you are expected thereafter. File item 30, Senator Pan. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 530 by Senator Pan, enacting the vehicles.
Senator Pan.
Thank you, Madam President and members. SB 530 is a measure to define pedal-powered pedicabs and statute and establish minimum safety requirements to allow these businesses to operate successfully. This bill is back for concurrence after amendments were made in Assembly with conversations with the ABC, public safety officials, governor's office, and other stakeholders. The amendments include clarifying the level of liability insurance required for operation, requiring annual inspections to ensure compliance for safety requirements, prohibits operation on freeways or limit operations to highways with a speed limit of 30 miles per hour or less. This is a bicycle. Clarify there's no pedal-powered pedicab shall operate without authorization by resolution or ordinance by their locality. Establishes a sunset for January 2020 for the provisions that allow alcohol consumption on board these vehicles. And finally, other technical clarifying amendments from the Department of Alcohol Beverage Control and California Highway Patrol that were suggested. So this is all about local control and allowing small business and local authorities to work together. It's received bipartisan support, and I respectfully ask for an aye vote on Assembly on concurrence of Assembly amendments. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Pan. Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. DeLeon. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Wesso. Huff. Aye. Jackson. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Aye. Wynn. Aye. Nielsen. Aye. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Aye. Stone. Aye. Vidak. Aye. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Please call the absent members.
Allen. Aye. Bell. De Leon. Hueso. Jackson.
Ayes 36, no 0. Assembly amendments are concurred in. File item 31, Senator Hertzberg. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 540 by Senator Hertzberg, an act linked to taxation.
Senator Hertzberg.
Yeah, this measure does two things. It eliminates the sunset on the Taxpayers' Rights Advocates Relief Program, and two, it increases the maximum amount of relief that a taxpayer can be paid under this program from $7,500 to $10,000, and adds in an escalator so we don't have to keep doing this again. Ask for your support.
Debate or discussion on this item? Is there any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39, no 0. Assembly amendments are concurred in. File item 32, Senator Hill. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 541 by Senator Hill, an act linked to transportation.
Senator Hill.
Thank you, Madam President. Back on concurrence is SB 541, which makes improvements to the California Public Utilities Commission's transportation branch. The Assembly amendments clarify the CPUC's ability to hire an independent entity to assess the CPUC's capabilities of carrying out the new program priorities established by the bill. The bill has no opposition, has received unanimous support. I respectfully ask for your aye vote on concurrence.
Thank you, Senator Hill. Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39, no 0. Assembly amendments are concurred in. File item 33, Senator Liu. File items 33. Pass on file. File item 34, Senator De Leon. Pass temporarily. File item 35, Senator Nielsen. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 635 by Senator Nielsen, an act linked to erroneously convicted and imprisoned persons.
Senator Nielsen.
Madam President, this is a true bipartisan bill, and I want to thank the joint author for his assistance on this, Senator Leno, as well as co-authors Senators Anderson, Monning, and Stone. This bill is returning for concurrence. It allows for an increase in compensation for those who were wrongfully incarcerated. After they've been factually then found innocent, this would increase their compensation to $140 a day. The bill was amended in the Assembly simply to add Assemblyman Bonta as a co-author. This bill has received no opposition, and I would urge an aye vote in the substitution of the roll.
Thank you very much, Senator Nielsen. Any debate or discussion on this item? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39, no 0. Assembly amendments are concurred in. File item 36, Senator Roth. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 696 by Senator Roth, an act linked to insurance.
Thank you,
Senator Roth.
Thank you, Madam President, colleagues. Senate Bill 696 updates the method used to calculate life insurance reserves by implementing principle-based reserving, or PBR, and the bill is back on concurrence. The Assembly amendments give the insurance commissioners some additional flexibility. They delay implementation of PBR until sufficient resources are in place. They create the Office of Principle-Based Reserving within the department, and they clarify provisions relating to the confidential treatment of information. Senate Bill 696 has received overwhelming support and is co-sponsored by the Association of California Life and Health Insurance Companies and the Department of Insurance. I respectfully ask for your concurrence in Assembly amendments.
Thank you, Senator Roth. Is there any debate or discussion on this item? Any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Galgioni. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Hueso. Huff. Aye. Jackson.
Aye.
Aye. Lara. Leno. Aye. Leva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Aye. Wynn. Aye. Nielsen. I, Pan. I, Pavley. Roth. I, Runner. I, Stone. I, Vidak. I, Wachowski. I, Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Please call the absent members.
Bates. I, De Leon. Hall. I, Hueso. Lada. I, Pavley. Aye.
Ayes 38, no 0. Assembly amendments are concurred in. And as a matter of personal privilege, colleagues, former Assembly member Dave Jones is in the back of our hall. Let's give him a nice, warm greeting from the red carpet. File item 37. Mr. Secretary, please read Senator Mendoza.
Senate Bill 792 by Senator Mendoza, enacting to daycare facilities.
Senator Mendoza.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm here to present 792. It's back on concurrence. This bill protects children by ensuring those who care for them are vaccinated against influenza, pertussis, and measles. Assembly amendments included volunteers in this bill to ensure that the children are protected by all adults who care for them at a daycare setting. In addition, amendments reduce the number of required immunizations and now allow a 30-day period for caregivers to provide their immunization records. This bill has received bipartisan support and would respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Mendoza. Is there debate or discussion on this item? Is there debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. I, Anderson. I, Bates. Bell. I, Berryhill. I, Block. I, Canella. I, De Leon. Fuller. No. Gaines. I, Galgiani. Glazer. I, Hall. I, Hancock. I, Hernandez. I, Hertzberg. I, Hill. I, Hueso. Huff. Jackson.
Aye.
I, Lada. I, Leno. I, Leva. I, Liu. I, McGuire. I, Mendoza. Mitchell. I, Monning. I, Morlock. No, Morrell. No, Wynn. I, Nilsson. I, Pan. I, Pavley. I, Roth. I, Runner. Stone. I, Vidak. I, Wachowski. I, Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Anderson, we're going to get you in just a second. Please, you almost did it. You almost did. Please call the absent members.
Bates.
Aye to no. Very good. Thank you. Senator Anderson, aye to no.
Anderson, aye to no.
My apologies.
Bates. De Leon. Galgiani. Aye. Hueso. Huff. No. Mendoza. Aye. Runner.
Ayes 31, noes 5. Assembly amendments are concurred in. File item 38, Senator Hill. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 800 by the Committee on Business Professions and Economic Development, enacting the Healing Arts.
Senator Hill.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, SB 800 is the Senate Committee on Business Professions and Economic Development's annual health omnibus bill. This bill makes several minor, non-substantive, and technical changes to the Business and Professions Code that are consensus items to better enable boards to carry out their regulatory duties. There is no known opposition. The bill has passed Policy and Fiscal Committees in both houses on consent. Respectfully ask for your aye vote on concurrence.
Thank you, Senator Hill. Is there any debate or discussion on this item? Is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 38, no 0. Assembly amendments are concurred in. Senator Wolk, file item 39. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 19 by Senator Wolk, enacting to resuscitative measures.
Senator Wolk.
Thank you, Madam President. SB 19 establishes the California Post e-Registry Pilot Act. Amendments were taken in the Assembly to make the bill a pilot project that will sunset January 1st, 2020. The amendments authorize the Emergency Medical Services Authority, the EMSA, to establish guidelines and act as the coordinator of the project. The amendments also require EMSA to submit a detailed plan to the legislature. SB 462 has received bipartisan support. I ask for concurrence in the Assembly amendments.
Thank you, Senator Wolk. Is there any debate or discussion on this item? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 38, no 0. Assembly amendments are concurred in. File item 40, Senator Liu. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 172 by Senator Liu, an act linked to pupil testing.
Senator Liu.
Thank you, Madam President. SB 172 suspends the California High School Exit Exam, the CASE exam, for 3 school years, beginning with the 2015-16 school year. The contract for the exit exam expires this October. The last administration of the exam was in May. The exit exam is no longer being offered. Members, 2 weeks ago, we passed a bill to provide immediate relief to students in the class of 2015 who had not passed the exit exam. Students who are currently in high school no longer have the opportunity to take the exit exam. If those students who haven't already passed the exit exam, they will have no way to graduate from high school. A large number of adult students continue to work toward their high school diploma. Since these students are required to pass the high school exit exam, they can no longer be granted a diploma. SB 172 requires schools to award diplomas to students who have met all graduation requirements other than the passage of the exit exam and applies this provision retroactively. We cannot in good conscience continue a graduation requirement that no one can meet. This bill establishes a working group to carefully consider the future of an exit exam or other measures of proficiency. This working group will provide recommendations to the Superintendent of Public Instruction. SB 172 does not permanently eliminate the exit exam, nor does it specifically specify a successor exam. It simply suspends the requirement to pass the exit exam while the issues are being studied. The exit exam served a valuable purpose, but it's not aligned to the current academic standards. SB 172 will help define the next steps, and I ask for your support on this bill.
Thank you, Senator Liu. Senator Huff, under debate and discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, I rise in opposition to this bill. I do believe the exit exam has served a noble purpose. I think it was put in place so that we could help hold our educational systems accountable and make sure that those graduate with a high school diploma have something that says they have met at least some level requirements of the state. So here we are. We've suspended the STAR exam. We're suspending the CASE exam, and until we get the Common Core aligned, parents and students are sort of in limbo, and colleges, as to what our students are actually accomplishing. Are they meeting the challenges? Are they doing anything? And I get the whole thing about now that we're switching to Common Core, it's tough to hold them accountable to something else. As I've told you before, both Jackie Goldberg and I passed the high school exit exam decades after we went through school. It is not that rigorous. We were not taught according to the current standards, but at least it's something that we have a measure that they've met some educational requirements. I think it's a dumb move. I urge a no vote.
Any further debate or discussion on this item? Any further debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Senator Liu, would you like to close?
I simply ask for your aye vote.
All debate having ceased, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen? Anderson? No. Bates? No. Bell? Aye. Berryhill? No. Block? Aye. Cannella? No. De Leon? Fuller? No. Gaines? Galgioni? Glazer? No. Hall? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Hernandez? Aye. Hertzberg? Aye. Hill? Aye. Wesso? Aye. Huff? Jackson?
Aye.
Aye. Lada? Aye. Leno? Aye. Leva? Aye. Liu? Aye. McGuire? Aye. Mendoza? Aye. Mitchell? Aye. Monning? Aye. Morlock? No. Morrell? No. Wynn? No. Nielsen? Aye. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. No. Stone. No. Vidak. No. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Please call the absent members. Nielsen, aye to no. Absent
Nielsen, aye to no.
members, please.
Allen. De Leon. Gaines. Galgioni. Aye. Huff. No.
Ayes 23, noes 14. Assembly amendments are concurred in. File item 41, Senator Hertzberg. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 239 by Senator Hertzberg, enacting to local services.
Senator Hertzberg.
The Knox-Cortese-Hertzberg Act, enacted decades ago, was brilliant in many respects except one, and we're here to correct that. The LAFCOs did not review and approve contracts and agreements for services between two public agencies, and so this measure does that, and the amendments that come back from the Assembly do a couple of things. First, they narrow the fiscal review requirements. Secondly, they exclude the specialized Amador agreements, not Amador County, but Amador is a reference to the CAL FIRE contracts, and they clarify that it only applies to new contracts, having no impact on CAL FIRE. Ask for your aye vote on this measure.
Thank you, Senator Hertzberg. Any debate or discussion? Any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Anderson. No. Bates. No. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. No. Block. Aye. Cannella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. No. Gaines. No. Galgioni. Aye. Glazer. No. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Wesso. Huff. No. Jackson.
Aye.
Aye. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Morlock. No. Morrell. No. Wynn. Aye. Nilsson. No. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. No. Stone. No. Vidak. No. Wachowski. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Please call the absent members.
Allen. De Leon. Wesso, aye. Monning. Wachowski.
Ayes 23, noes 13. Assembly amendments are concurred in. File item 42, Senator Mendoza. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 331 by Senator Mendoza, enacting to public contracts.
Senator Mendoza.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, SB 331 is back for concurrence. This bill requires the jurisdiction that establish a court ordinance for labor contracts to be applied to the same degree of transparency to other contracts for goods and services. Assembly bill amendments specify the types of contracts that are subject to the bill. It clarifies provisions that the bill apply only to contracts over $250,000, and also exempts contracts from responding to a state of emergencies. With that, members, I respectfully ask for your aye vote on these amendments.
Debate or discussion? Senator Morlock.
Thank you, Madam President. A few days ago, the LA Times had an editorial that encouraged and recommended municipalities to adopt COIN, civic openness in negotiations in government, in negotiations. So here we are with a few municipalities, cities that have adopted COIN, and now we want to make it very cumbersome for them. Basically, colleagues, most negotiations for collective bargaining at counties and cities are done in closed session and closed doors. And then the results are released, and a few days later, they're voted on without any input from the public. And COIN is just encouraging transparency, and we should not be penalizing it. We have a lot of funny things that come out of bargaining in closed session, and that's why a lot of our cities and counties and even this state are in pretty poor fiscal shape. And no wonder we keep asking for tax hikes. We've got to wake up and provide for more transparency, not less. We need more eyes to see these contracts, not less. I urge a no vote on SB 331. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator Morlock. Any further debate or discussion? Any further debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Senator Mendoza, you may close.
Thank you. I think we're all in favor of transparency. I believe that have some more counties or cities want to negotiate their contracts in open meetings, that's fine, but let's make it equitable and make all contracts in open meetings and have them transparent, not just labor or just business. So with that, members, I respectfully ask for your aye vote. Thank you.